Zesty the Kitten and the Kindness Adventure. It was a bright and breezy morning when Zesty, a curious yellow kitten with white paws and wide blue eyes, stretched his legs and blinked up at the sky. He gave a cheerful meow and peeked over the garden fence. His best friend, Bounce, a purple puppy with floppy ears and a spring in his step, was already rolling in the grass next door. "Hey, Bounce, let's go exploring," Zesty called. Bounce jumped up with a wag of his tail. "Yes, let's go find an adventure." And off they trotted down a winding forest path, where the birds were chirping and the breeze smelled like daisies and peanut butter, probably because Bounce had hidden a sandwich nearby. They hadn't gotten far when they heard a soft rustling in the grass. "Help! Help!" came a tiny voice. Zesty's whiskers twitched. Bounce's ears perked. There, lying belly up in the path, was a baby turtle, legs waving helplessly in the air. "I was just taking a walk," she sniffled, "but on my way home to the lake, I tripped over an acorn and flipped." Zesty walked around her. "Don't worry, we've got you." Bounce gently nudged the turtle with his nose, while Zesty gave a careful push with his paw. With a gentle plop, the turtle flipped right over and blinked in surprise. "Thank you, she squeaked. "That was so embarrassing." "No problem," Zesty purred. "Everyone needs a little help sometimes." The little turtle gave them a happy wave and waddled off toward the lake, her shell wobbling side to side. They hadn't gone far when they spotted something else in the path. A tiny snail, barely moving and looking very sleepy. "Oh no," the snail whispered. "I'm trying to get home to my mom before dark, but my shell is so heavy and my slime is running low." Bounce squinted. "You need an express ride." "An express what?" "Hop on," Bounce said, crouching low. "We'll get you there in no time." "Wow, thanks," the snail said, sounding more awake already. She climbed on, and Bounce gently trotted across the soft grass. Zesty led the way until they reached a shady patch of leaves. "That's my house," the snail cried. "Mom's making dandelion stew." "Sounds gooey and delicious," Bounce grinned. "Good luck, speedy snail," Zesty meowed. Just as the sky began to turn pink, they heard a tiny voice from behind a bush. Hello? Can someone give me a hand?" They peeked through the leaves and saw a baby caterpillar at the bottom of a shallow hole. "I was chasing a butterfly shadow and didn't see where I was going," he said with a little hiccup. "Now I'm stuck." Zesty looked around. "We need something long." Bounce wagged his tail thoughtfully. "What about that branch?" Working together, they dragged a sturdy branch over to the hole and lowered it down. "Grab on tight," Zesty called. The caterpillar wrapped his tiny feet around the branch. Zesty and Bounce tugged and pulled until pop! He popped right out, spinning a little as he landed. "Whoa," he said, dizzy. "That was the most exciting fall I've ever had." "Try not to chase your own shadow next time," Bounce said with a wink. The caterpillar giggled and waved goodbye. Zesty flopped into the grass. What a day! But just then, they heard a crash, thump, bonk from up above. "Help! Help! I'm stuck! My tail is tangled!" High in the tree, a squirrel was dangling upside down, swinging by her tail from a knot of twisty vines. Zesty blinked. Is she juggling acorns? Yes, said Bounce. Yes, she is. I was practicing my triple spin trick, the squirrel called, but then I got twirled instead of whirled, and now my tail is looped in a knot, and also possibly in a bow. Zesty climbed halfway up the tree, while Bounce stood below to catch anything that fell, which happened to be 2 acorns, a walnut, and 1 squirrel shoe. Hold still, Zesty said, trying not to laugh. The squirrel spun slowly in a circle. I can't feel my whiskers. With a few careful tugs, Zesty untangled the knot. The squirrel flopped down into a pile of leaves, dizzy but unharmed. Ta-da, she said, sitting up and throwing an acorn in the air, which bonked him on the nose. I call that the unplanned acrobat. Zesty giggled. You're okay, but maybe keep 2 paws on the ground for a while. Or 1, said Bounce, watching the squirrel try to hop on her tail. The 3 friends laughed together, then waved goodbye as the squirrel bounced back up into the trees, slightly slower than before. The sun was dipping behind the trees now, and the sky was a soft purple. Zesty looked up. We should go home. Our moms will be wondering where we are. Race you back, said Bounce. And off they ran, side by side, past the butterfly bush, through the tall grass, and across the flower field, and into their neighborhood. Soon, they reached their 2 cozy cottages, one with a red door and one with a blue one. After all, Zesty and Bounce were next-door neighbors. Good night, Zesty, called Bounce. Good night, Bounce, meowed Zesty, as they both stepped into warm kitchens where dinner and hugs were waiting. Because adventures and making new friends is amazing, but there's no place quite like home. The end.